we cut it, it doesn't matter what we do.
Okay.
So it's not live, we should do this live actually, how about that? Huh? We can really have some fun. So if we do it in English, the best way. So I'm at the moment at Colin Robert Mackay.
Correct.
I only know the other name, we don't mention that now. He wrote a book about the history of Phuket. And now I got
Speak in German and then ask me in English.
Okay. So, hat ein Buch geschrieben über die Geschichte Phukets, der Colin. Wir kennen uns schon lange, about 20 years almost, 18 years since I've been going to the hash runs.
Ja.
Und jetzt habe ich ein paar Fragen für ihn. So, wann bist du das erste Mal nach Thailand gekommen? When did you come the first time to Thailand? Which year?
I came in, I think it was 1983, a long time ago. No, 1986.
Same.
I was, when they opened the new the Holiday Inn in Patong, because I was a journalist in Hong Kong, and they offered me a free flight and a free stay in Holiday Inn. So I came and I went to stayed a few days. I went to Phi Phi, and I went to dive in Phi Phi at Shark Point, and there were no sharks.
No sharks.
And no sharks. And then there was just one strip on the beach and one dirt road going off the back with some beer bars, which I thought was good. And that was it, really. I left. That was the first time I came.
Are you sure Holiday Inn was open in 86? Because I remember 86. I was here and I thought it was just open like 90 something. No,
it opened in 86. Possibly it was 88, but it was in the 80s. I think.
Yeah,
I can't remember so far back.
A long time ago, no? And then what made you come back? Did you fall in love with Thailand or?
No, I didn't. I wanted to live on an island. I went back. Okay, that was a long time. I went off to the Caribbean for some years to salvage shipwrecks. I love history, right? And I got a job in Dominican Republic, and I worked there. Then I worked for a bit in Austria, and I came to Hong Kong, and I had a very good business. I made what I thought was enough to live, and I wanted to write books and live on an island. Preferably in Asia, because I have a lot of friends around here. And so I looked at Bali. I preferred the Philippines, but I also wanted to build houses, beach houses. It was another dream I wanted. So this is more civilized than Phuket, than Philippines at the time. Because in those days there's the king and the structure, whereas Philippines, it's who's got the most money wins, right? Or the most guns, right? So I could have gone to Cebu. Bali is too far away, and I looked, Samui was nothing, and I said, okay, Phuket's got an airport, it's good, and I came here and I looked at some deals, and I said, yeah, this will do me, it's fine, it's got everything here, as you know. We have good nightlife, we have beautiful beaches, we have wonderful mountains, and now more and more there's shopping centers, hospitals, the airport works, the internet. I just found out that Thailand is now the 5th fastest internet in the world.
Yeah, they're very good.
Yeah, it's you've got South Korea, Singapore, Luxembourg, Switzerland just overtook Thailand, and Thailand's number 5. It was number 4.
In Germany, it's number 11.
It's way down. Yeah, way down. The guys measure it every month, and Britain is way back. So I came here and I had fun, and I the other reason was I had my daughter and my girlfriend from Dominican, and I couldn't really bring them to Hong Kong because I was flying all the time living in a small apartment. But here we've got a house. Here's very similar to Dominican. So I settled down here and just had fun. I was a single guy. I mean, come on, what do I need to say?
Good place to be seen.
And then my wife came, and then not wife, but my mother, and then my daughter went to, there's good schools here. That's one of the main benefits now of Phuket. So yeah, I stayed here for a bit. I built some houses and traveled all around.
When did you start moving to Phuket?
Well, I moved here originally when the Thai baht crashed.
90s.
That was 88. And
88?
Yeah.
The debt crash, 88?
Yeah.
Oh, you were really young then?
98, sorry, 98, yeah.
Because I also moved to Thailand in 98.
So when I was in Hong Kong, I was going over for the weekends in Manila or come down to Bangkok or we were coming to Thailand a lot, and it was always 25 baht to the dollar. And I love Thailand, right? I love Philippines. I love all of Asia. But then it's suddenly 88 to the dollar, and I said, look, that's like 3 times better. So I've got to move. I was ready to move. I had a fund. I had a Stille Beteiligung in Germany at the time, and then the Deutschmark was up, and all the Asian currencies were down. Anyway, I sold the business, and I moved here. And I was able to buy everything cheap, cheap. A car and the golf club memberships and the first house and land. Everything was cheap. And then it came back to 30 to the plus the prices are now it's expensive. Now it's very expensive.
And what do you like about the Thai culture the best?
What do I like best? I think that.
Well, what is special about the Thai culture? Was ist besonders an der Thai?
I would say it's just easygoing style here, right? Easygoing. The people are pretty friendly. Very friendly. There's no real violence. They don't really care if you're making a noise or you're getting drunk, or as long as you're not in their face. So I like that. They leave me alone place here. If you're cool, they're cool. That's what I say. If you're uncool, they're uncool too. They can be much more uncool than you. But if you're cool, they're cool. So you know people like me who've come to this island and they get drunk and fight, or they do the cheap people, and they soon get moved off this island, right? But if you're cool, they accept you and they're cool. And I like the ladies around. It's good. It's always nice. They're quite proud people as well. I quite like that.
But yourself, you're basically from Scotland,
I'm
right?
Scottish, but I was born in Kenia. So I was born in Kenya. I grew up in Tanzania, on the East Africa. Well, if you swim that way, right, for 2,000 kilometers, you hit where I grew up. So I grew up on a beach with palm trees. So I'm not going to live in Scotland.
So you're pretty much a global kid, huh?
I was sent to boarding school in Scotland, and it sucks, right? I mean, the cold weather. I come home from Christmas in Tanzania. My father worked for Caltex.
Caltex, okay.
So we got 2 holidays paid a year from the company. So the worst was Christmas. I leave a beautiful hot beach, and one day later I'm playing rugby in the snow and in the mud, and just going, what the hell? So I came to live in the tropics, and I'm happy on this island.
And what do you think most Europeans don't understand about Thailand? Also, was verstehen die Europäer meistens nicht an der thailändischen Kultur? Ne?
Okay, look, I think they understand a lot about Thailand because so many have come to Thailand now. But in the culture, I think. For a start, a lot of guys, they think girls who say they love them, they don't love them, they just want the money, right? I don't think most Thais really are happy that we're all here. They just assumed we came and left our money and left, right? But they're pretty accepting, and many of the Thais, the lower you go in the Thai people, the nicer they are generally. I mean, in top government people, from my book, there was a quote from a British guy who said, in those days you could talk about less politically correct, shall we say. So you could say, he said, he sees no redeeming features of the Siamese people. And if there are any, they are certainly not to be found amongst their leaders and their government people, right? So it's a bit like that. There's a bit of corruption at the top, but the general people around are really cool people.
But corruption, I think we have pretty much all over the world now.
It's not so bad as other places, but it's not so bad. Like I live in Africa, it's terrible there, right?
And where do you live right now? You live in Phuket, right?
Yeah, I live in Phuket. I've been here. I married a lady since, so I have 2 girls. Same age as yours, 10 and 12, just turned 13. They're at school here. There's 4, 5, 6 good schools here. They play sports against each other. And the good thing here is 1 hour you're in Singapore, you're in KL, in Saigon, in Bangkok, literally in an hour or an hour and a half, right? So you can get out to the city, you can get out to beautiful beaches, you can go
It's
mountain biking, kayaking, everything around here.
a beautiful place to
Surfing, sailing, it's all here.